Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having an amazing day. Now, I did a video like this a while ago called Manga Recommendations for Beginners, but today I want to talk about some underrated manga recommendations. Some series that are getting a little bit of the spotlight, but I think deserve a lot more and deserve to be in a lot of more people's collections and just deserve to be loved a lot more than it should be and what it is right now. But before I start this video, if you're all interested in more manga content like this, be sure to go down, hit that subscribe button, also join the Discord, link is in the description. But without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, so the first manga I'd like to talk about is one that's been popping up in a lot of people's collections lately, which makes me very happy. It is Ragna Crimson. Now, for those that don't know, I picked up the first video in my manga shopping vlog video, which surprisingly did way too well than I thought it would. I love you guys for that. Thank you. 1,000 views is absolutely nuts. But this is a very, very, very solid manga. Definitely not the best art I've ever seen, but a very solid manga. The plot is very intriguing and very entertaining. It's a very unique plot to what's known in most shonen. At surface level, it seems very basic, but once you start to understand about, how he gained his powers, how he's going to use them, and stuff that happened between the future and present is so cool. I think this manga is very, very, very underrated, and I've seen it popped up in a lot of people's manga vlogs recently, like the homie HVL. I've seen it in her haul video last month, a couple months ago, I think, and she loves this manga, so it makes me very proud to see people enjoy this manga and just fall in love with it. No, I gotta give credit where credit's due. Ritsu and Tux, what's up? These two got me on this manga, and I have to say this is gas as hell. This is a very solid and enjoyable read, definitely for those shonen nuts out there that want something very fun and entertaining to read and something that's not too thought driven. This is definitely 110% the manga for you. I 110% recommend this manga for those shonen nuts and just action lovers out there. I think you all would love this manga to death. Alright, so if we're going to do a little detour, let's do a detour into the slice of life section, and that is Silver Spoon. Now, for those that don't know, this is one of my favorite mangas of all time. The story told in this manga is just beautiful. The story about finding one true self and finding what he really wants to do with his life. It's a very massive life lesson, and one that I think we all need to take in and explore and just learn about. Hiromu Arakawa, who you guys don't know, made the Fullmetal Alchemist series, is a beautiful storyteller, explaining and showing how Hachiken just grows as a human being and as a man into a very, very, very proud business owner and just a entrepreneur. His story is so inspiring and just lovely to read. I really want to reread this manga soon, and I definitely will. And this is just a manga that blows me away. Just how simple it sounds, but with a very deep and thought-provoking life lesson in it, and one that I think we all need to learn about and realize that we all may not know what we want to do with our lives until we just dive headfirst into something, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. And I think this is a beautiful story just telling you that. Definitely recommend this manga. Now, I do believe the little earlier volumes, I think one or two, are not hard to find, but you have to go on a little bit of a scavenge for it, which isn't that bad. And they're a little bit on the expensive side, but it is so worth it. This is definitely one of my favorite mangas of all time, and one I think every single slice of life and just manga reader out there should read and collect. I think you all would enjoy this manga so much, and I just can't stop talking about this manga, so I'm going to move on before I make an entire video about this manga. Alright, next is a side story to a very popular manga, or one of the most popular mangas in the world, and that is My Hero Academia Vigilantes. As popular as MHA is, I'm surprised no one's talking about this series. Now, I gotta give credit where credit's due again. The homeboy Jake the Pog, he loves this series, and him just saying one thing about this made me go out and buy the first volume, and I have to say, he was not wrong. This series is so consistently fantastic. The ties between original MHA and Vigis here is just fantastic. Seeing some side characters as more main-ish characters in this manga, like Eraserhead, Midnight, Present Mike, all those characters are more present in this manga, and it's just so enjoyable. It's so much fun. This manga just screams shonen goodness, and people just need to start talking about this manga more. I own every single volume. There are only 12 volumes out right now, so it's not that big of a commitment. It is still a pretty big commitment, but it's not as big as other series out there. So I definitely recommend this to those out there that like My Hero and really want a cool side story to learn more about the side characters, especially Aizawa. You learn so much about him in this manga, about why he is the way he is now. I think it's a beautiful story about just people trying to live their lives. I think it is a great story, and I think you all should check it out, because I know you guys have read MHJ, and this is just so good. Diving back into the slice of life genre, we have Laid Back Camp. Now, for those that don't know, this is my favorite anime of all time, so obviously the manga is good. I think this series is the best at creating a vibe that no other anime can beat, or manga can beat. It's so warming and calming. It's so cozy. It's so refreshing. This art is very different to normal manga art. It's very different. It is very different. I don't know the word for it, so I'm just gonna say different. But I think the art in this manga is fantastic. Like I said, it is the king of creating a vibe that no other slice of life manga can make. It's just a beautiful manga about just these Japanese women camping and what it's like to camp in Japan. And I think it is oh so very interesting. And for all those people out there that just want a warm and cozy manga read, I definitely recommend this to those out there. Now, I know Boogie is recently picked up this manga, and I'm going to say it now. I've been a fan of this manga for like 4 years now, or fan of the anime for 4 years now. So don't say I'm riding his dick, because I'm not. All right. I've been a huge fan of this anime manga for years. It was one of my first, and it is my #1, and it will be for all eternity. I don't see anything topping it anytime soon. And yeah, it's just a beautiful story about camping, and you do learn a lot about camping, the do's and don'ts of starting at campfire, how to put up a tent, all that stuff. It's just it gives you a lot of the basic rundowns of camping, and I think it is very well done. I am very, very, very proud to own this manga, and very proud for it being my #1 of all time. I definitely recommend this to those nuts out there that love slice of life and cozy manga. This is definitely my #1. Alright, so the last and final manga we have is from a mangaka that is actually pretty popular, but another one of her works that I think deserves a lot more eyes on it than it does, and that is Dai Dark. Currently, there are only 3 volumes out so far. They come out like once every 6 months because it is a pretty slow manga. Chapters online don't come out all that much, but from what I've read and from what's out, this is by far a phenomenal dark fantasy comedy manga. This series just does comedy so well. I find myself just dying of laughter all the time. The characters are so cool. Shima to Death is really hot. The build quality of this manga is just superb. I made a whole video about manga build quality, so you can go watch that if you'd like. And it's just all around, everything about this manga is just a solid release. Art's fantastic. Hugh Hayashida is a beautiful mangaka. Her art's gorgeous. It's very gritty, yet legible. It's so much fun to read and look at. It's just a beautiful read. I thoroughly enjoy this manga through and through, and I think those dark fantasy nuts out there that like a sprinkle of comedy would love this manga. It's just all around a phenomenal manga that I think everyone should read. It is such a good read and so much fun. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me what are your underrated manga recommendations in the comments, and maybe I'll check them out. Maybe I won't. We'll have to see. But please let me know. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace, take care. Love y'all.